What's up, y'all? It's me, LSP. Monday morning, it's time to go. Monday morning, let's hit our flow. Monday, hey, it's Monday. Hey. Greetings, salutations, and happy Monday to you, my friends. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I know I did, and we said a few weeks ago we'd start celebrating this old Monday. So let's attack this week, y'all, and get to Friday, okay? So today I thought I'd go ahead and talk about the Connors since it's coming on tomorrow night. Quick update to Connors. According to, Entertainment Tonight, Laurie Metcalf, the actress who plays the character Jackie, says that they're coming back for season 2. Woohoo! I hope that is indeed true, and I can't wait to see season 2. But let's get right into this episode, my friends. I don't remember the name of the episode. I usually have notes. I didn't write notes. So let's just wing it. Alright. So this episode, there were 2 stories. It was the A story was Dan in the vending machine. The B story was Jackie and Becky. And we finally get to find out a little bit more about Jackie's job as a life coach. So the show starts with DJ being sick and going over to stay at his family home. His wife was like, no, we don't want to be sick. You go home. So Darlene was like, she probably sent him here because she thought whatever he has, that couch would help to kill it. So she gave him a can of soup that had been in the cabinet since they were kids. And actually, the soup didn't make DJ sicker, but he didn't tell his sister. Anyway, so I love that part of the Connors getting to remember back to when they were kids. I think that's truly why I enjoy this show, because we've grown with it and evolved with the family. But anyway, back to the story. So because DJ is sick, Dan goes out to help on his route. DJ is a vending machine technician. So Dan goes out. Dan ends up with a vending machine falling on him. He goes to the doctor. He comes home. He tells his family. All right. So Darlene's like, no, we have to get them to pay for our doctor's bills. You know, there's no way we can afford this. So Dan and Darlene go to see the CEO of the vending machine company, who, of course, after talking and Darlene mentions a lawyer, he's like, we're done here. So Darlene finds a lawyer on the gas pump. She calls the guy. He tells them he can get them at least 6 figures. So they, start to dream. It made me miss when the Connors had won the lottery. When they were millionaires, it's like, now we were so excited as they were millionaires, or I was anyway, and now they're poor again. So anyway, they get the lawyer. The lawyer turns out to just be looking for a quick buck. He comes back and tells them that they're not going to get any money, that they're going to pay his medical bills, and by the time they take his fee out, it would be like they would still owe $600. So anyway, Dan basically cusses the guy out and tells him, thanks for setting my family up, because he had told Connor she could go to a good college. He had promised little Mark that he could go to a special art camp for $500 this summer. So he told him thanks, and told him if he saw him again, he'd do what Dan does. So anyway, that was that. He goes in, he tells his family about it, and he ends up telling Mark that he was still going to art camp. He's like, I'm still in charge of this family, and we'll figure it out. We always do. So that was the A story, y'all. Very good. DJ got to keep his job. That was part of the deal. And then Darlene found out that they were indigent, and they got the bills paid for, and they did have just enough money left over to pay for Mark, and then they had some money where they could do things, as a family. So they were trying to decide what they would do with that. Dan said he wanted to join that Steak of the Month club and have 30 filet mignons, call it the month of mignon. Alright, so that was it for that story, y'all. Then the B story, that was Jackie and Becky. And as you know, Becky's always been a flirt if you've been around the Connors long enough. But now it's starting to, and seriously impede upon her life, considering the fact that she didn't know who her baby daddy was. So, baby daddy, I hate that term. She didn't know who the father of her child was in the beginning. So the owner of her restaurant where she works has decided there's no more fraternization between employees. They can't flirt, and that's got Jackie. I keep mixing up Jackie and Becky. That's got Becky upset. So Becky's talking to Jackie, and Jackie's like, well, I'm a life coach. Now, we've been hearing about Jackie being a life coach since the first and only season of the reboot to Roseanne. So she was telling Becky, she was making her website and different things. So Becky has to now take boundary training. And, of course, her Aunt Jackie could help her with that. But Becky goes to Jackie's biggest rival. And anyway, one thing leads to another. Becky's still being a flirt, and then Jackie, she ends up with Jackie as her life coach, because Jackie's like, you don't want to phone this in. Let's really figure out what's going on up there, and let's learn how to set boundaries with yourself and others, you know. So they decided to figure out, well, first of all, let's figure out what it is you want to do. So apparently Becky wants to be an archaeologist. Who knew? But that's how that wrapped up with Becky and Jackie sitting at the computer figuring out Becky's life. So that's cool. A life coach can really be helpful, you know, because there's so many things that we aren't taught, and we get out here and you're just supposed to figure it out, you know. So anywho, I thought it was a great episode. I can't wait for the next one. I think we have 2 more, but as I said in the beginning, we do have season 2 coming, according to Lori Metcalf and Entertainment Tonight. All right, y'all, that's it. I'm actually on the interstate finishing up this video. To the 324 people who've taken the time to that little red button, you know we are indeed thankful for you. If you haven't subscribed, please think about it. Peruse the channel. There's over 600 videos. We make great content. I bet you'll find something you like, all right? So click the button, ding the bell, so you know when to come back, my friends. Give me that old thumbs up. Let me know you're out there watching, and comment below. Are you still enjoying the Connors? Will you be watching tomorrow? That's it, my friends. I'm done. Take care of yourselves. As always, no fear and no regrets. You're awesome. I'll see you next week for the Connors, or tomorrow for rambling and musing in this car. Take care, y'all.